coming from, because I think about who their clients are, who's coming into the office, who they deal with. You know, it wasn't an offensive comment, it was a reality and a pragmatic reality on his side. And over the course of like 3 months of discussing, it was a slow job, they totally changed their perspective, you know? And they were lucky that I don't bill by the hour because I don't have that luxury, so this is part of the pitch. But they changed their perspective, you know? So this one was a big painting in their hallway that was commissioned for them that went with some of their themes. We don't see it so well here, but it's a lot about the clouds, and there are helicopters and NSA and people collecting data, et cetera. But then they bought an installation of this project. And this is from an American artist who lives in Rotterdam for a long time now, called Abner Price. It's called the Superhero Project, and it's in a way very naive and very on point for me at the same time. So basically, he's made these kind of costumes that the two kids are wearing, gloves, belts, capes, masks. And the first performance, he'd go around on the streets, it was in Brussels for like 3 weeks, and he was dressed like that, and he had a briefcase with him, and it was the artist going to work. And in his briefcase, he didn't have documents or papers or an iPad or whatever, he had more costumes. And what was the job of the artist? The job of the artist was to interrupt your everyday life and screw you up a bit, you know? Challenge you. So he'd be walking around and people would look at him and some would flirt with him and some would insult him, some would laugh with him, some would even get aggressive. But whenever he managed to like have that moment of connection with somebody, his power was the ability to make people imagine theirs. So he'd start talking to them and he'd say, okay, superheroes are in our imagination. And if you can use your imagination, you can be a superhero. So if you could have 3 powers, what would they be? And then he'd dress them up, he'd take a picture, maybe a video, keep the conversation going. And at the end, the footage for me is really important because it's taking art out of the museum, out of the context of art vocabulary, out of the place where it might be an inclusive, exclusive discussion, to where people work, where they play, where they walk, where they share space, back to a public space. And then in asking them this simple question about what 3 powers, the answers are amazing because people tell you what they think is wrong with the world and what they think about their responsibility for that. Like in the States, the most common answer was invisibility as a superpower, right? And you'd have some common answers, and those are very interesting for somebody else to later read into what these things mean or their histories. But okay. Back to the point about how you survive doing this. So you're a 40-year-old man, you're a performer, you're walking around on the street with your briefcase full of costumes, dressed like a superhero, and that's how you spend your days. Now, who the hell should pay for that? Should the government pay for that? I mean, you know, I know how silly it can be to people. I've got a lot of friends who don't quite get how I spend my time. So we financed the production of that project. It started in Brussels, and it was part of the Modo Brussels, the Fashion Week, so it was a really nice kind of contradiction. Then we were invited from a European-funded program to